All right, welcome everybody. Hello, I am Mendez, here to run some Tales of Adventure today on the actual old school Game Gear. Let's go. I am, of course, joined by a couple of wonderful cuties on the couch. We have Amber Cyprin as a remote commentary.
О, блин, там чувак даже в пижаме, Тевза, прикольно.
Hi, my name is Amber Cyprin, my pronouns are they, them, and I am a person who helped with the initial routing of the glitchless category. And yet I have not completed a single run of this game.
One day.
Over to you, Hibby.
One day.
I'm Hib. I feel thoroughly underdressed for this occasion. Mendez has absolutely killed it with the get-up, and I have the great fortune of moderating this amongst all of the, plenty of strange Sonic games, and to see where this run has come from with these two professionals that we're going to be hearing
Я
from.
думаю, там... Не, ни разу игру не проходил, но я думаю, там очень много знаний, там будет много чего рассказать.
Let's get a bit of a countdown. We're going to start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
3, 2, 1.
Have fun.
All right. So this is a
Вообще, да, Tales of Adventure — такая метроидвания.
Very obscure entry in the Sonic the Hedgehog series.
По сути,
It is an officially licensed game. It is,
мы исследуем за Tales все территории, ищем апгрейды, чтобы попасть на другие части уровней. Tales вообще по сюжету, лору Соника такой умненький изобретатель, и он... Здесь тоже по игре будут различные приблуды искать. Также вот может летать хвостиком, все как по канону. Еще у нас категория glitches. Эту игру еще сломать можно. Так, надо присмотреться, на чем проходит. Вполне вероятно, может быть, он даже проходит на оригинальный Game Gear. То есть это на, собственно, оригинальная платформа, на которой эта игра выходила. Такая портативная Sega из середины 90-х. Была, по сути, младшим братом предыдущей консоли от Sega Genesis, это Master System. Цветной экран, там 320 на 300, 320 на 240 и жрет 6 батареек за 2 часа. Ну, то есть, по сути, заряда батареи хватит, чтобы примерно эту игру пройти 4 раза, если проходить ее за полчаса. Не, ну геймбой в те времена тоже как бы не хуже был. Он хотя бы батарейки так сильно не жрал. Хотя, не знаю, я вживую только максимум геймбой Color у кого-то видел. У меня познание геймбоя было с ГБА.
We're here in our second area, Volcanic Tunnel. We just got the remote robot upgrade. The remote robot upgrade is one that we're going to use quite a lot throughout the course of the run. And we'll use it for our first time over here. We're doing a lot of damage boosting our way through this area as well, because we're going to get a full heal very soon. But the remote robot is something we can send. It's an invention of Tails that we can send.
О, вот у нас первый предмет для исследования уровня — это такой цыпленок на радиоуправлении, позволяет проходить в труднодоступные места.
Remember, Tails is 8.
Tails is 8 years old.
Keep that in mind. We're not even scratching the surface.
We are, what, like 2 minutes into the run? We already have 2 different types of bomb.
Блин, вот блюр экрана — это вообще такая боль. Ну, это немножко автопом. Купил со вторички PSP-шку первого поколения, потому что у меня она и была в детстве. Немного пожалел, лучше бы трешку искал. Ну, 3000 серия.
I do have to be a little bit careful here because we do a lot of damage boosting in this area because it's quick. but it's also very, very dangerous because we do tend to get very close to death, but we should be okay now. Just going to take that nice and carefully, and we throw the remote bomb up there to unlock this path here, and we're going to get our next upgrade very soon. Take a damage boost off that mouse, because it genuinely just walking into them and taking the knockback is genuinely just faster than...
Не, до СНГ доходило все, что могло дойти.
Like throwing a bomb.
И не стоило при этом как
We
самосвал.
haven't even got started on the can of worms that is the Game Gear. This is a
Oh,
game where,
yeah.
of
This
course,
thing eats inputs
Yeah.
like nobody's business.
Oh yeah. Half of my inputs are absolutely like I have to spam inputs sometimes just to get them to recognize. Like their edge spam the jump and it did it twice, so you know.
Я надеюсь, ранее поменял батарейки перед забегом,
I'd consider the Game Gear
а
like one of the most
то
hard consoles to.
поймать на ране
That's probably a very controversial opinion, though.
I'll take that.
потерю заряда
I've
не
been
очень
thinking about the
прикольно.
battery inputs or the battery life of the
Oh.
Game Gear. You get what, 4 runs out of a fresh set of batteries?
Yeah, so I did bring my. I did bring a lot of batteries for this run because I'm running this on battery power, and the Game Gear very much eats through batteries. I get about 3 hours of batteries on a full charge, which is 6 AA batteries. But my adapter that I have
на
for
3
it is
часа
only
хватает
rated
полного
for,
заряда.
UK voltages, so I wasn't able to use that for the run. That's fine. So technically, each of these runs have cost me money right now. So
Есть
let's get
адаптер
to it quick.
блока
Yeah.
питания,
The faster the
но у
run,
него он
actually,
только
the
под
cheaper it is in battery power, so-
регион
Time is
Великобритании.
money.
Exactly.
Gotta have your economical speed runs.
So over the course of the last couple of stages, we've also picked up a couple of Chaos Emeralds as well. Do you want to explain what those do, Ampa?
What the Chaos Emeralds do?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing that we haven't touched on is the fact that unlike most Sonic games where your health meter
вообще
is
так и
either
захватывает,
I
в
have
принципе.
a shield and or rings or nothing, and then you take a hit and die, we actually have a monitor in the top left that is our health meter, and that is rings, and it starts at 10 at the very beginning of the game, and every Chaos Emerald that you collect increases not only your health
Блин,
by
это
10
модулятор и
rings, but
блок
also your
питания,
flight meter.
блин, это-
Now, the flight meter is not going to be very
Вот честно, не
important,
отвечу.
for this segment right here, as we are
Я
going to
думаю,
just trying to reach the top of this
какое
mountain,
тебе,
this is
собственно,
Poly
питание
Mountain
нужно, я
1.
думаю, можно все
We're going to
достать.
try to reach it while avoiding Speedy or Great Battle Cuckoo.
Вов, не будет? Не, это гличлес.
Sorry, Speedy here is Great Battle Cuckoo 16. We haven't even
О,
started
у нас
talking
тут первый
about
босс
the,
такой.
Great Battle Cuckoo Empire either.
Yeah, so this is the second boss fight of the game. We are basically just heading our way up, getting hit by those spikes, which is definitely not supposed to happen, but that's fine. So
part of the plan.
we do, yeah, we have to kind of lure Speedy over to the side and then head back to the middle.
Причем в этой
Speedy does
секции
go
нет
down in a kind of
ограничений на
semi-manual pattern.
полет.
There is a bit of manipulation for it, but I did lose
Здесь,
about halfway.
Теос
I
не
did have it for
устает.
quite a good amount of time. But we just have to get to the top, and as soon as we get to the top, and Speedy has done one last little dive, then we've beaten the boss. Speedy gives us a little bit of a prize, yet another Chaos Emerald, and I think the final Chaos Emerald that we're going to pick up throughout the course of this run. So that's gonna,
Yes.
40 is going to be our max health for the entire rest of the run.
Yeah, there are 6 Chaos Emeralds to collect in this game. You get 5 of them, I think, throughout the story, or you pick up 5 off the ground, and then the 6th one is awarded. I think it's through Speedy. But that would, if we ever got all 6,
В игре всего
we could
6
push our health to 99
изумрудов хаоса.
rings, which is pretty neat, but
5
that's
мы
something we
находим
we're
по
gonna have to
прохождении
manage
игры, а
these,
6 нам
40
дают.
rings very, very carefully as we
На
enter.
оригинальный.
Lake
Ух,
Rocky
ё.
1. So we're going to be back here about 4 different times for different exits, because this is kind of like our weird hub with the Sea Fox. Because spoilers, the remote robot can turn into the Sea Fox, which is Tails' submarine that can go apparently 100 knots an hour. But for right now, we're just going to be heading straight
Блин,
right,
это жесткий.
avoiding mines, trying to mitigate lag. If there is an obstacle in front of us, we're going to try to shoot it with our Vulcan gun as close as possible, as you can see Mendez doing here. just to try to like reduce the lag from too many sprites being on screen at once. But we got a little bit of time for a donation if you wanna.
Не, почему? Я бы себе хотел бы сешку,
I would love to for you.
например.
I've got $25 for you from Calliope. I can read. I'm so sorry. Who said?
Меня, например,
"I discovered
прикалывает
Mendez on
дизайн
GDQ when
первого
she ran
поколения
Discworld,
Сеги.
and I could not be happier to be a part
Прям
of
очень
her
как-то
lovely community now.
красиво выглядит.
Let's go, Mendez. Good luck with the best boy and enjoy your time at AGDQ.
Ну, я что-то пропустил особо такой этот момент,
Got
когда
time for one more at least.
все
Sure thing.
скупали
Here's
старые
$20
консоли.
from Argic, who says Tails is a very happy chappy. He's got the best swag walk in this game. Must be because of one of those items he's carrying. Good luck, Mendez.
Oh yeah, enjoy the swag walk, and this is actually the stage where we're going to pick up the probably some of the more infamous items.
To say the least.
But yes, here we come to Cavern Island.
О, в этом уровне
Cavern Island
такой
is kind of it's a bit off to the
поднимут
side,
самый
but it contains
такой
three very important items that we're going to need.
жесткий
to beat the game.
предмет.
And the kind of gimmick of this area is water currents, so we're just kind of getting bashed around and pushed around by these water currents.
Но тут еще в этом уровне есть вода, которая сносит в определенную сторону Тейлза.
We're going to get a heal after this stage, so we don't have to worry too much about health. The bats in particular are the most annoying.
Ладно, такие книжки у всех были.
I can think of so many video games where bats are the worst thing to have ever happened to them.
All right, so we're going to get our next upgrade here. So we're going to send the remote robot. This is a water tunnel that pushes us down. We can't fly up it, but we can send the remote robot up there to get mine. Not
Yours?
yours. Mine.
Yours? Whose?
Whose?
О, мина.
Mine.
Fine.
Mine?
And that's the first of three items that we're going to need. So we're
Ну,
going to
тут
make our way up here. We've got a horrible bat-filled room.
Nicely done.
такой этот каламбур.
Yeah, that was a very good dodge because I usually get hit going up there.
There's like 5
Каламбурчик
bats in that room,
такой.
and it's a nightmare casually. Just to try and avoid all of them, because the knockback in this game is significant, as I'm sure you've probably already seen. We're going to switch to the remote bomb here. And now we're going to do another little trick. Oops, no, we're going to go down here. We're going to actually take damage off that bat, and that's going to push us down the water current. That is usually a water current that pushes us up. But the
О, тут прикольная фишка есть,
has to
когда
take priority
Тейлз
over
получает урон, он
the
быстрее
water
по воде
current.
скатывается.
So that means
Yeah, it
we can
makes you a
skip-
lead weight. It's great.
Yeah.
То есть не участвует вода в сопротивлении по направлению.
Yeah, just going around. So we're going to use the remote bomb again
Ой,
there.
у меня была сешка, у меня была Тазмания, меня она все время бесила.
A
Сложно
little bit
очень
more
было.
damage boosting off these little mice type things. I assume they're mice.
Yeah.
I've always called them mice.
Little guys, little guys.
Yeah, and here we have the infamous upgrade. It's the napalm
The
bomb.
napalm bomb. Let's go.
Now,
That's
what
right.
Ну,
what a hero
напалм.
is doing with napalm, I don't know. But you know what? What I do know, I trust Tails with
Тут
napalm.
правильно заметили, что
Napalm.
7-летний Лиз
Yeah.
такого сделал, что собрал аж
I
целый
feel
напалм.
like there are different versions of the lore, as we mentioned, and we'll talk a little bit more about the lore in a second. But you know, I feel like canonically in my head, you know, meeting Sonic for the first time, I think calms Tails down a little bit and gets him to stop using bombs quite as much, maybe.
Hey man, not cool.
So we have our
Yeah, we're kind of out damaging the Mecha Golem here. It's kind of a war of attrition once you destroy the helmet here.
Yeah, the first phase is really easy. The second phase you have, because we just hovered above him and dropped the bombs. In this phase, we need to actually aim the bombs because there are bombs coming from the ceiling. And we're going to get another upgrade that is, you know, a typical 2D Metroidvania upgrade. What do you think of? You think of the anti-air missiles, that's right.
Of course.
О, Тейлз еще получил
Just adding to
противовоздушные ракеты.
adding to the arsenal
Я
that Tails
думаю,
has here.
изобретатель не по годам.
Absolutely. So the other thing about upgrades, you can only have 4 equipped at a
О,
time.
фанаты делают ремейк этой игры. Это прикольно, кстати.
So we have to go back to Tails' house anytime we want to swap items out.
Игра хоть и кажется такой простая, но имеет определенный шарм.
Sonic's house and Sonic Shuffle, so it's nice to get some more lore building of how these cute little critters end up living.
Yeah, exactly. And my inputs all get eaten, so I'm getting hit by the bomb, that's fine.
but we're back here for another exit this time, I believe.
Yes, absolutely. So we're gonna do Late Rocky. We're gonna do 2 exits now. The first one is gonna be, it's basically kind of the same path to the right, but instead of going to the right, we're going to go up at the end. And what I'd like to do in this time is, now is our lore corner. Let's talk a little about the lore of this game. Amber, do you want to take it away?
Sure. So this game takes place on Coco Island. It's a small island that floats on a coral reef in the far southern ocean of Earth. Lovely. Yes, because this would take place on any other planet. Some might call it Mobius. This island in particular cannot be found on any map because of course it can't. And according to legends, the mystical Chaos Emeralds have been lying on this island since time immemorial. It has been a long time since a young fox cub and inventor, Miles Prower, nicknamed Tails, has come to live on Coco Island, having built his own laboratory on the southern tip of the island. And he lives in this laboratory every day as he pleases. Now one day, sometime after the West Side Island incident of Sonic 2, Tails is taking a nap in the forest near his house. The greenery of the forest blocking out the sunlight and the chirping of the nearby birds make it a very pleasant place to rest in for Tails. But suddenly, as if, out of nowhere, the tranquility is abruptly interrupted by a giant explosion deep into the forest.
Тут поясняет за сюжет этой игры, что вот Тейлз жил в островке на планете Земля. Остров не обозначается ни на одних картах. Жил себе, строил лабораторию, и вдруг... И тут армия птиц напала на остров. Да, там еще в острове находятся эти изумруды хаоса, и это одна из причин, почему Тейлз поселился здесь.
Because they're looking for the emeralds. So he's mustered up all his courage to stand up against all of the attacks and the armada of birds coming his way, and he sets off on his first adventure, making his way across the island. And, he has an arsenal of his own to combat an entire bird army. Mm-hmm.
So the napalm is really actually quite understandable. Like, it is logical, really. That's what I do if I was in his position, surely.
Ну да, тут замечаешь, что как бы напалм в сюжете этой игры весьма уместен. Видимо, перья хорошо горят. Так сказать. Курочки-гриль.
So I'm going to take a lot of damage off this boat. This boat, by the way, has way more health than it should have. It's got 40 health.
Oh yeah, it's something ridiculous.
You have to hit it with anti-air missiles 40 times. So while that's happening, have we got any more things to read, Pippi?
Кстати, вот тут забавная вещь. Как бы под водой корабль, а Тейлз атакует корабль просто противовоздушными ракетами.
Hype.
That's what I love to hear. Time for a few more?
Yeah, a couple more.
Here's $50 from Code, who says, loving the outfit, Mendez. Thanks for a great run and for helping with such
О,
a
как
great
раз,
cause.
видите, курочки-гриль полетели.
Yeah, it makes it very difficult to sit down.
Yeah,
but they are there.
Not peak comfort, but we're gaming.
Это торпеда? Не, там именно, когда находили апгрейд, было написано anti-air missile. О, напалм. Лису дали напалм. Это единственный момент, кстати, в ране, где он используется.
And it's a very good speedrunning item. We're going to take our first damage there. That is planned damage.
You're at 1 ring right now.
I'm at 1 ring. Anything
big spooky.
Anything hits me, I am dead. And
even that fly, even that little bee.
Even these little bees. We're gonna sleep in them. All scripted, don't worry. They're paid actors. We're going to send our little robot into this little tunnel to go.
Тут интересная особенность интерфейса, что некоторые объекты на экране графически перекрывают интерфейс, что не очень удобно.
Inappropriate for a speedrun, we just picked up the extra speed, and that's an upgrade for the Sea Fox that I'll talk about in a few minutes, but
No,
That's our
I
first
can't
death
believe
warp
that
of the
happened.
run.
Oh
He's
no.
dead, finally.
Лис упал.
Alright, but fortunately,
That's alright.
so the way the game gear works with deaths is it gives you a password, but that password saves anything
Лису
picked up,
уронили.
so we've already got the extra speed, so now we've got the extra speed over in Tails' house. So we're going to equip that. That is an
Но на
optional
самом
upgrade
деле
for
это
the
было
Sea
специально,
Fox.
потому что нам дается пароль, который автоматически
Yes,
заполняется.
you'd think as an
И
extra
мы
speed,
просто так
as
быстро
speedrunners,
выходим
we'd
из
like it.
уровня. И
Amber, why do I hate this item?
Okay, so this item sucks. I'm just gonna be upfront. Like, so this is like Crystal. This place also sucks. The extra speed doesn't really. You'd think it just makes the Sea Fox go fast, but no. It's what it's really there for. It does make it go fast, but what it's really there for is this super jump. And it has this awful audio cue that you have to listen to because you have to build up your
тут
momentum.
такой маленькая
even if
обманочка
it's
от игры. Вот мы
directly against
подобрали
this wall.
типа экстра
And,
скорость, но на самом деле,
and
во-первых,
jump, that
это
was a really good jump, by
для
the way,
вот
Mendez,
этой
my goodness.
подводной
She
лодки,
has
а
watched
во-вторых,
me
она
toil
не
away
дает
that
скорость, она
jump
дает
when we were first routing this.
увеличенную
After,
высоту
like, last
прыжка.
minutes.
You have to do it in the last like 5 frames of the audio cue. It's so stupid.
Yeah, you
How
hear that
precise it is.
Oh, stinger.
Alright, this is fine. We want to be 6 health when we leave this place as well. We're setting up for another death warp as well, so I was just kind of barreling through things.
We've got another log to look out for.
Не, почему поиграть здесь
Well,
можно,
there.
просто тебе дают пароль
And then we'll hold
примерно
back
с того
to
места, где ты
avoid
закончил.
that.
Smooth.
And then we got a couple of birds.
Okay.
And then we got one more log just up here that we need to avoid, and we're done. Alright.
Easy. Every
So,
Nice.
I'm going to go into concentration mode, so, yeah. Good luck,
Okay,
commentators.
so this is Poly Mountain 2. It's the most difficult part of the run. We skipped the night vision that you would pick up in.
Да,
on the
здесь,
screen of Green Island,
как в
where we
обычном
did our
Сонике,
first Death
кольца
Warp.
являются
But you have to
бронежилетом.
memorize this layout.
Кончаются
Mendez
кольца,
hated
все.
Green Island, like, the
Один
second area
удар
of Green Island
и
so much, and she's like, no, I'm
каюк.
not doing it. I'm doing this in the dark. I'm doing Poly Mountain 2 in the dark. You can't convince me otherwise. So we're going to be using all the embers and enemies and sprites that we can see on the screen to be able to figure out where we are relative to the rest of the area. So we have to actually do this weird zigzag throughout.
По-моему,
the,
здесь
caverns
нужен
here,
апгрейд,
because if we try to
чтобы
just
тебе
fly
подсвечивали
straight
невидимые
up to
блоки,
the
но
top,
раннер, в
where the
принципе,
item
сам
that we're trying
помнит
to pick up is,
дорогу, поэтому может
tunnels
ходить
that
в
will push
темноте.
us down. Despite Tails being a protagonist that has the ability of flight, the game doesn't like you using it very often, and will actively fight against it. So, grabbing that extra ring there, we're gonna break the blocks directly above us, and we're actually at the point where we have to. If anyone did see the trailer for this run promoted on Twitter and other social media, you'll know that we're actually going to be breaking a pillar that you can't see, and we're going to be nesting ourselves in this like little alcove. That
Нет, то, что вы сейчас видите, это не глюк, это просто прохождение без определенного апгрейда, который подсвечивает блоки.
We're good.
I can salvage
То есть
this.
здесь, по сути, по памяти раннер все
It's a
делает.
little weird.
Oh, okay.
fine
Okay.
margins here, very fine margins.
Не, здесь, наверное, кольца не позволили бы разлетаться из-за мощности
Oh,
consoли.
can we salvage
Oh
this?
no.
Oh, wait, no, hold on.
Здесь просто
I think
цифра
I can still salvage
уменьшается.
this. Hold on. Oh, this is bad. Okay.
That's not
Ой-ой-ой,
ideal,
ранее чуть
but
потерялся.
it's either going to be
провалился.
salvageable or we're going to be taking a death and resetting this room, basically. But you've got this. This is a very, very difficult room because, again, you're navigating in the dark. It's not easy. I've done it only a few times myself when we were trying to make this viable. Shout out to the Jimmy Diamonds who did find the viable strat for this room that is still extremely difficult to deal with. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Too low. That should be fine.
Is that going to be high enough?
We'll find
Okay.
out. I think it is high
Okay,
enough.
I
I think it'll be fine.
All right, you should be able to release the Kraken that is the remote robot. So the whole point
Там
is
даже
to
где,
break a
если,
wall that was
где
preventing
вылетают,
us from
там
getting the
типа
remote
2-3
robot
спрайта всего.
into a cave, and it looks like we haven't broken that wall yet.
Здесь суть состоит в том, что здесь нужно сломать стену
Okay.
и потом робота послать. И тут ранее в первый раз стену не до конца сломал. И только сейчас можно послать робота.
there's a little tunnel just for it to fit into, and we're gonna make our way over to our next major pickup that is mandatory for the run, and that is the large bomb, adding to our arsenal of explosives.
We literally have
and,
4 types of bomb, mines, and anti-MSR right now. That's
Большая
that's our
бомба.
arsenal.
Подбираем большую бомбу. Весьма странный
we're gonna now deliver
ассортимент инструментов у
because
Тейлза.
we're gonna go back to
Одни
Tails' house
бабахи.
via the password. We're gonna go back to our volcanic tunnel, which was the second area that we explored in the game. So right now is a pretty good time while Mendez fixes her equipment to include the large bomb. Pippi, if you have any donations, now is a great time. You've got about a minute or so.
Wonderful. I've
Ну
got
да,
$50
типа выучил
for you
наизусть, но
from
все равно
Minimal,
тут ошибиться
who
очень
says,
просто.
Hey Mendez, much love from the Sunday Puzzle Boat crew. Good luck with the amazing Tails adventure, and thank you for helping to raise money to prevent cancer. Less than 3. This donation is dedicated to my dad, who sadly passed away from bladder cancer just over a year ago. We're so sorry to hear that, but thank you so much for supporting. I also have $5 for you from Delta the Techie, who says, good luck, Mendez. Show those battle birds what for.
Oh, thank you all so much for the donations. We are just going back through an area that we have already been through. To go through
Донатики
a new place, so, more donations,
на
please.
благотворительность.
More indeed. Here's $25 from
Сказать, с миру по нитке против рака.
I'm not sure. Who says, greetings
Ну и
from
также
Club 601.
пожелали
We are
раннего
all in VC watching your run,
Повыше-
Mendez, and enjoying every moment. Good luck and hope the batteries
пощипать
last.
перышки
Same, so do
птицам.
we.
All right. So this is the way to get to the new area. Bombs in this game, you might have noticed so far in the run, are very temperamental in terms of how much wall they actually destroy. The large bomb is no exception because sometimes this will destroy 1 block, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4.
Я только сейчас заметил, что у никнеймов вот эта полоска меняется в зависимости от громкости голоса говорящего. Это недавно добавили? Если это было уже пару лет, я вообще слепой.
The lowest time I've managed to get through there in 3 bombs once. I literally got a triple explosion, which is
На прошлом тоже было. Блин, значит, я вообще не замечал весь предыдущий марафон.
It just kind of dies.
You just sit on him. It's
He
great.
just sits on him and just do some large bombs and he's dead. So you are meant to throw those bombs at the back from below, but either way. We get the extra armor. And that's gonna let us
Блин,
know.
это
So
nice
that's the
touch
upgrade
такой.
we came back here for. We're also going to go to Poly Mountain because there's another
Деталь,
upgrade
которая
here that we
очень
want.
хорошо дизайн дополняет.
You may also have noticed I've been taking a lot of damage. We are, of course, setting up for another damage warp, so we're going to take 1 damage there.
Прям легкая страта была на
Yeah,
боссе.
don't worry, the damage is by design.
All by design, all according to the script. So now we're on 4 health, which is the perfect amount, because that is exactly how much these spikes do. We're gonna dropping the bomb on the elevator as well, cause it to immediately explode. So we don't have to wait for
All
it.
right,
And we get
our favorite item,
the rocket booter. I think it's supposed to be a rocket booster, but typos be typos.
I mean, there's your favorite item in the game, the Rido.
О, тут
True.
Добрая.
I do love the Rido.
здесь написано Rocket Booty.
Okay, with that, we're going to go to the dock. We're going to equip the 2 items we got. So the extra armor is going to replace the floating
Опечаточка
gun.
такая.
The rocket boots are going to replace the extra speed. And let's head out to Lake Rocky for the very last time. And
Yeah, so-
Yep, go ahead.
You're gonna see very quickly why we need the extra armor as we get to the exit that we want to. But hit me if you have any donations. This is a good time before we.
Насколько я правильно слышу, что это последний уровень, где мы используем подводную лодочку.
Invincibility. It just protects the Sea Fox from literally everything, and we have to activate it every screen. Otherwise, we're gonna be just progressing.
Это экстра армор
through
просто
Lake
дает
Rocky one last time,
неуязвимость.
going to Coco, a fake Coco Island. So Pippi, feel free to take it away with a few more donations.
Surely, surely. Here's $10 from Laszlo Jot, who says, finally a GDQ time.
В
Can't
принципе,
wait to
позволяет
get to
вот
Team
эту
Folks
секцию
play
проходить на
live.
изи
Hope the
моде.
Game Gear is not getting too heavy yet.
It's a big thing. It truly is.
It's honest, when there's no batteries in it, it's light as anything. It's just the batteries.
Well, speaking of batteries, we also got a $30 donation from Ace Cage, who says, here's a $20 donation, alongside $10 for batteries.
Thank you.
Genius.
Hopefully Tails can work on your Game Gear.
Очень смешной донат прислали, 30 долларов, говорят, вот тебе донат на $20, а остальные 10 на
Absolutely,
батарейки.
yes.
Here's $20 from Sonic Tails Link. That one of those characters is not from this game. Who says, gotta donate during the speedrun of my favorite two-tail fox. This donation is in honor of my uncle who sadly passed away from cancer last year. Let's help preventing cancers. Also, love the tail suit, Mindas.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I should have. Yeah.
It's so
This opportunity.
adorable. It really
There've,
is.
there've been a lot of foxes on stage today, let's put it that way.
Who's the best one though? It's got to be Tails. Surely.
Gotta be Tails.
Yeah, there we go. Crowds with us. That's what we want to hear.
All right, so this screen here, by the way, is the main reason that we need extra armor. You see those bombs falling from the sky? Every one of those does 5 damage to us. And the thing is, you can't even avoid them. Even if they, like, miss the Sea Fox and just hit the ground, you still take the 5 damage as soon as they explode.
Вот были
So
бомбочки,
the-
они
the
наносят
extra armor is
5 урона, то есть минус
required
5 колец.
basically just to
И
be
от
able to
них
get
невозможно уклониться.
which is probably quite
Только,
good, because
по
it's the only
сути,
area where you can
либо
actually
иметь очень
do a
много
lot of
колец
Sea Fox later on, and we won't
и
go over
затерпеть, либо использовать неуязвимость.
But yeah, we are coming up to the end of the gauntlet momentarily.
Yeah, this area is basically designed as a sanity check to see if you are actually progressing through the game as the developers intended. If you do end up here for some reason without the extra armor, you would just, like Minda said, you'd probably just die.
Yep.
But we have entered the fake Cocoa Island. Now, if you've seen previous runs of this game, because Mindas has done this on Hotfix a couple of times, or as well as on our own channel, we now skip a lot of this because of what you just saw on screen right now.
It's so stupid.
It's really silly. Now, none of us, like, who
О,
did
новый
the original
скипос.
glitchless routing thought
Довольно свежий.
that the
Короче,
remote robot flashing
Теос
would be
может
potentially
возвращать робота,
tangible,
и,
'cause
по
it
сути,
goes
робот
through
идет
objects
кратчайшим
different to
путем
Tails.
до
But
лисенка,
apparently,
но
the
при этом,
intangible robot can touch
оказывается,
Tails'
во время того, как
switches on
робот
its way
возвращается
through
обратно, он может
walls back to
подбирать
Tails. So we're actually gonna
а,
bring the remote robot to,
короче,
various
дергать
areas
рычаги,
where,
подбирать предметы.
it would cross through a switch to be able to reach Tails again. And those switches are important because they deactivate these electric gates, as you just saw here. And you're going to see that a couple of different places here on Cocoa Island, as well as in the Battle Fortress, which will be coming
Да,
up
всем
after
привет,
this,
кто подходит.
stage.
Yeah,
But,
if you missed what I just did, I'm going to do it again. So we're going to send the robot out. You see that switch on the left? Usually we'd have to blow up an area so the robot can actually go through and actually hit that switch. But we don't even need the robot to go through to hit the switch, because it can just go here, and then we recall it, and during its recall, it hits the switch.
That's so genius. Shout outs to Squilly Bob for that one.
Big shout out to Squilly Bob.
Здесь
Like, that's so-
как раз
such a
прошли
good
вот этим
like,
способом, о котором я говорил, что обычно там нужно как-то обходить, и такое, а здесь мы просто
Saves literally, like,
созываем
on
робота
the
обратно, и
first
он за
screen of
нас
this,
дергает
it takes
рычаг
like over a minute to get
на
through.
обратке.
So folks might be wondering, hey, this is supposed to be a glitchless category. Is that not a glitch? It's not, actually. We've deemed it an exploit alongside the infinite flight because it is literally just using game mechanics. Now, if it were a case of like going out of bounds, like what the remote robot lets us do in the glitched category,
Кажется, что это глюк,
absolutely, that
но
would
на
be a glitch,
самом
but
деле,
no, the
получается,
remote
это
robot is
абуз
just going back to Tails,
механики.
and for some reason, it is coded to be able to interact with the switches, despite supposed
Например, здесь
tangible
глюком
mechanics.
в этой игре является, например, бесконечный полет.
What's the name of that?
So
one there?
that's Dr. Fukurakov,
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, our favorite
God.
owl in the
the
series.
weapon engineer of the Cuckoo Empire, I believe. I'm trying
With
to
a name like
Yeah,
that.
he's like an evil scientist, the mad doctor.
There we go. That throw into the corridor that can be a little bit finicky, but that's fine. So the way we're gonna beat this, this is essentially another boss, but not a traditional style boss. This is more of a trap. So Dr. Fukurakov traps us, and we have to send the remote robot to go around and release us. In the meantime, there's a nice little rock up there, right above Dr. Furakov's head.
Oh,
So
Yeah.
he
I wonder who put
did.
that there.
yeah, very, very conveniently placed. Let's put it that way.
Убиваем босса с помощью камня.
по
голове. Честно, какой
Какой
холодный солдат птичьей армии оставил тут камень.
Now we do need to go back to Tails' house at this point. The only reason we need to go back to Tails' house, annoyingly, is because the game does not realize that we've already equipped the rocket booter until we go back to Tails' house. But yeah, the rocket booter lets us fly, and that's how we're going to get up to there. So I'm a big fan of like.
Перед тем, как мы зайдем в последние локации, нужно зайти в дом Тейлза, иначе игра не понимает, что у нас и так уже есть ракетный бутер. Чисто технический момент. Да, да. Камень я дам, рычаг не дам.
Oh wait, wrong Sonic character line. Mendez, so happy to see you on main GDQ stage, showcasing this Game Gear gem. And on original hardware, no less. Shout out to all Game Gear owners out there. Also, hi, Amber.
А здесь даже рычага не надо было. Камень не так уже стоял.
No. Power nap complete. You know what? That's the power nap section of the run. Now we're ready for the final area.
So actually play the game?
Yeah, we're gonna actually play the game again. I imagine. Yeah, literally on that screen you just hold right, and there is nothing else you need to do. In this one, we actually need to hold up, so it's a completely different strategy. But instead, we also have to occasionally tap the anti-air missile button and take out these anti-air cannon. Oh, is this more of an anti-air missile at this point? Because we're using it to take out anti-air missiles?
I don't think we're over the napalm yet, so...
This segment in my notes that you gave me, it says Battle Fortress 1, power nap, but then power nap, but with anti-air missiles every now and then.
По сути, здесь просто наверх поднимаемся и вовремя стреляем ракетами. Пушкой по воробьям, как
You
так
are doing
сказать.
incredible for playing in your sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm awake now, it's fine. So this is Battle Fortress. Main mechanic here is conveyor belts. These conveyor belts are pushing it against us, so we're just going to fly over them and just pretend they weren't there. Actually, we're going to head back to the top because I forgot that we're going to stand here and we're going to do our little robot trick again. So we're going to send the robot down here. I might be a little bit too far to the left. No, I'm not. So there we go. And that's going to open up this gate over here. But yeah, this is the final area of the game. We're going to send Tails over to the right.
Ну, финальная зона в этой игре.
Flying just underneath these spikes to avoid the conveyor belt, which is pushing in the opposite direction. And then we'll send the remote robot to go and open up this barrier. Now that this conveyor belt is working in our favor.
There's certainly been better Game Gear music. It's good. Game Gear music can be fantastic.
This game has better music than this, I swear.
Yeah, and like Sonic games always have a reputation, usually good when it comes to music. So I mean, and this is not even a Sonic game. This is a Tails game. So
yeah,
setting a new precedent with a good game. And like there was also Tails this is Tails Adventure. There was Tails Sky Patrol as well. That's something that you dabbled with as well.
It is, yeah. I definitely
a little bit different.
That game a little bit. It's very, very, very different. A lot of memorization in that game. But
yeah, Tails has the very strange games. There are 3 games that star Tails, 2 on the Game Gear, 1 on the Pico, and that is Tails Sky. No, that's not Tails Sky Patrol. That's Tails and the Music Maker, which I have also played, and that is certainly a thing.
That's a thing. Yeah.
Другое, что все игры, где Тейлз является главным героем, они весьма странные. И, по сути, Tails Adventure — это самое лучшее из представлений.
So yeah, the main gimmick here, we've got loads of conveyor belts, we've got loads of switches. We're just sending the remote robot on like various adventures. All these switches, all these conveyor belts again.
Да, доброй ночи.
Damage there, but then we need to get low enough that we can enter this little corridor here. It's a
being a bit mean.
Game Gear's eating my inputs. It's eating my inputs. There we go.
Inputs delicious.
Very, very delicious. The hungry, hungry console. Alright, we're going to fly around here, avoid those spikes. We're going to fly up the right side. We are completely safe here because that cuckoo's always going to fire to the left. We're going to try and do a damage boost here. This can be a little bit risky, but that's fine. We made it through. Nice. Sometimes that can just like knock you all the way to the right and you have to go back from the bottom again, but it tends to behave for me, so I...
Весьма рисковый damage boost, но все получилось. В противном случае надо было бы всю зону проходить заново.
We want to avoid these tractor beams, by the way. These tractor beams cause the robot to go back to Tails like that.
That was so close.
That was so close. Yeah. Sometimes I can just hold left there and it's fine, and sometimes you just can't. So, oh well, that's fine. Let's go through again.
It's a game. We just blame the Game Gear.
We
at
just
this
blame the
point.
Game Gear, exactly.
Немножко не получилось на обратке дернуть рычажок.
Nicely done.
Absolutely, and there is one final switch, and then it'll be the final bosses of the game.
Plural.
Plural. So, any final donations for the run, Pippi?
Surely, surely. I've got $50 for you from 3 Wise Llamas. And they would like to say, I actually played Tales Adventure right before seeing it on the AGDQ schedule, so it had to be my first donation of the week. Putting this toward fighting some cars in Jet Set Radio Future, which we're getting close on that, y'all. I believe in you. Time for any more?
О, последний
Yeah,
босс.
couple more, so it's on the final boss now, but I'll take one more donation.
Real quick from Baranox, here's $10. $5 for each tail. Tales Adventure 2 when?
Ah, I would love some Tales of
We
Adventure
need it.
too.
We need it.
But yeah, so we're on the final boss of the game. This is the second to last boss of the game. This is Speedy. We need to do 12 hits to him. We can hit him down when he's down there. Wait for him to come back up. Get another hit, another hit.
It's got to be like 1 or 2.
One more hit, I believe. There we go.
Nice.
And then we have the Grand Battle Cuckoo with his incredible stilettos, by the way. Look at the stilettos on
Oh.
this,
Yeah,
on
this is
final boss.
Прям
Speedy's death.
последний
This is the
финальный
Grand
босс.
Battle Cuckoo 15.
So good, so stylish.
Look at this strut.
The strut, the
Top leather
stilettos.
glasses. It's such a vibe.
Yeah, it really is.
Это
Truly a trendsetter, really.
птица-чат.
All right, we're going to stay out of his range. If he grabs us,
Прям
then
походочка,
we are
как
in big trouble. All right,
немного
we're
у
going through to the
Ливси
second phase now, so he's going to
из
use
мультика.
bombs. He's going to start walking back and forth across the whole arena. We just need to drop a few more bombs on his head. Time is
Почему у
coming up.
Теоза бомба? Ты пропустил, он там еще напалм сделал, противовоздушной ракетой.
Point out as soon as that
Короче,
happens. So,
веселится мальчик.
one more, I believe. No, one more. Oh no!
Oh no, he's going.
No, I've been grabbed.
О, захват.
We've got health.
There we go.
Hey,
Okay.
it
And
was
loss of
just
control is time.
Time.
GG.
GG Mendez.
I just had to
И
show what it looked
время.
like to get grabbed. Obviously, it's a cute animation. What was the time?
That's looking
I'm seeing
like
a 40-48.
Incredible. With all the messing around in Poly Mountain 2, that is completely respectable. Incredible.
Yeah, that
Well
was
done,
actually,
Rachel.
yeah, that was very close to PB despite the catastrophe that was going on. It's like, hey, I don't know where I am anymore.
Oh yeah, that is definitely the most stressful recovery I've ever had to do. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for donating. It's been incredible. I'm going to do some final shout-outs. So big shout-outs to Amber Cypern and Jimmy Diamonds who helped route this game when we were first starting to run it. To Squilly Bob and Chess Chess JP for taking it even further in the meantime.
Ну, благодарности
Or
людям,
definitely
которые
for
раутили эту
Glitch
игру.
Run at AGDQ oh so long ago.
Да, бомбезная игра.
2012
Хорошо
or
заметил.
something like that. Of course, to Hibby and Amber for being on my couch.
Да, ваш шлёпа
To
может
Gopher for
делать
the
напалм.
amazing,
А вот
Game
Теос
Gear, capture mod, which lets me run this actually on console for you all here today. And if you watched my previous run at AGDQ 2022 of Discworld, you'll know exactly why I'm saying this. GNU, the only kid. Keep their name alive. Amber, do you have any final shout-outs you'd like to make?
Yeah, sure. I want to shout out the Fast Pace Events community. That's the events team that I lead, and Mendez is one of my tech staff for that, and Hibby's there too sometimes.
moral support.
But for moral support. But seriously, again, GNU, the only kid. And if you want to see more of my silliness and hear more random lore drops and talking about food sometimes, you can check out, I'm doing a hotfix show on the 24th, Passion Project. It's going to be a competitive Pokemon primer, so VGC for dummies with TGH. And otherwise, you can follow me over on Twitch at twitch.tv/AmberCyprin, and I'm going to be picking up streaming again in the next month or so. I'm starting to just get my tech spinning back up for that, so, you know, it'll be a time.
Very cool. And Hibby?
shout outs to like weird Sonic games. They're great. And in fact, we were mentioning Hotfix. I have the honor of being a Hotfix host as well. And this was a game that was lent for a special Sonic one that we do yearly for the Glitchless Gauntlet. Glitchless Gauntlet, whatever. And it was so cool to see this being picked up, have some love. There are like, you can say you run a game in the Sonic series, that could mean anything. It could be a third-person shooter, it could be a Metroidvania, it could be a party game, it could be Sonic Shuffle. And I just love it for that. So if you want to run a Sonic game, just, you know, holler at me and I'll hook you up with something. But GNU the only kid, of course. And yeah, just big ups Sonic.
It's never been easier to get into a Sonic game. With Sonic Origins, there's so many like classic games as well released alongside it. You can play Tales Adventure with just by owning Sonic Origins.